This September the 3rd, 2025, meeting of the Shawnee Planning Commission to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Roll call. Hayes?
Here.
Reese?
Here.
Porter?
Here.
Barrett?
Here.
Alexander?
Here.
Johnson?
Here.
Henry? All right, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Item number 1, consideration of approval of the minutes of the August 6, 2025 regular meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move approval.
So made. Second?
Second.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second, which I'll vote. Hayes?
Yes.
Reese?
Aye.
Porter?
Aye.
Barrett?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, consideration of a request for a final plat for Shawnee Twin Lakes, Lake Number 1, Phase 3, case number FPL 03-25, applicant City of Shawnee.
All right. So, as stated, this is a request for a final plat for the Shawnee Twin Lakes Number 1, Phase 3. If you'll recall, the preliminary plat came through a few months ago, back in around June, May or June, I think. So this is the final plat to finalize those lots and any dedications necessary there. This subject property is located to the northwest of the intersection of Highway 102 and Clear Pond Road. And it lies in sections 14, 15, and 23. Property is zoned TL for Twin Lakes with similar zoning to the northwest and south, and a small section of C2, regional commercial, to the north-northwest. The property to the east across Highway 102 is not within city limits and doesn't have zoning. Are there any questions for staff?
I believe so. Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion for item number 2, case number FPL 03-25.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second.
All right. Hayes?
Aye.
Reese?
Here, or aye. Sorry, answer.
Porter?
Aye.
Barrett?
Aye.
Alexander?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Item number 3, public hearing, consideration of a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at the property addressed as 15105 Echo Road, Shawnee, Oklahoma, 74801, case number CUP 01-25, applicant Jeff and Katie Cannon, CC Cannon, LLC.
Thank you. As described, this is a request for a conditional use permit, specifically to operate a short-term rental at the property addressed as 15105 Echo Road. The subject area is a lake lease with the city, so it is owned by the city but leased by the applicant. And it is located south of the intersection of Echo Road and Homer Lane Road. The area is zoned TL for Twin Lakes. And Lake Number 1 lies to the southeast. There are approximately 8 other residences on this road. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit as required by city ordinance, section 22-199, where any short-term rental must have a conditional use permit in order to operate. Let's see. Conditional use permits by nature authorize the applicant to use a piece of property in such a way that is not normally allowed by default in a zoning district, but is a specific avenue for relief to allow certain uses. Let's see. Are there any questions for staff?
I don't believe so. Thank you very much. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If anyone would like to speak for or against this item, please come forward, write down your name and your contact information, and we'll have 3 minutes per person.
Frank Sims. Do you need, I live
Write your name down.
adjacent to, oh, sorry. Didn't hear that first part. Is this my 3 minutes?
TikTok.
We usually give 20 seconds for names.
I don't write that.
Well within the allotted time frame. Thank you,
You
sir.
get bonus points. I've been a leaseholder on multiple leases out there for over 40 years, including the lot that's under consideration. I actually sold it to his mother. I've got two issues with this proposal. One, that it's adjacent, so I'm opposed to it. But my latest lease, which was February of 2011, says no lease shall be assigned or sublet. But further, it says the lease is binding on the representative, heirs, and assigns and successors in the interest of the parties. So that's my first concern. I think that I have a lease that says it can't be sublet. I think we all do. The second issue I have is policing. The long-range lake plan addressed a lot of this stuff, but I think the city's opening Pandora's box with this by starting to allow these short-term rentals, especially with non-occupied owner rentals, or non-owner, I can't say that right, non-owner occupied rentals. The city police response is a minimum of 15 minutes from town. With a growing population of year-round activity, we need more than just the school resource officers during the summer. Typically, they're from the middle of May to the middle of August. We spent $400,000 recently to build a dock for the police boat, so they'd have quick access to any accidents or problems on the lake. We don't have a boat in it. We keep pulling the boat. So that we've accomplished nothing other than having a boat dock. I would urge you to table this request and others until there's a legal interpretation of the assign or sublet portion of 150 plus leases. And we have a positive plan in place with the city council to address the police issue at the lake. I think the more people you have in these type of things, I think we've got more opportunity for problems, and the police need to be responsive. The city needs to take responsibility for that area on a bigger basis. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else?
He follows directions better.
You modeled it for him.
That's exactly.
How we doing? I'm Elliot Schuler. I'm the neighbor directly to the north of this proposed, and I hate to say proposed Airbnb because it's not really a proposed Airbnb. It is a current functioning Airbnb. This has been, the guy's been renting it out for over a year now. He's been having guests, having people come over, been renting it. There's been major disruptions, noise, alcohol, loud music, disturbance of my peace. I've had his residents or his renters case my residence. They've walked up and down my fence line. I had a group of drunken residents recently barking at my dogs at night to where I had to bring my dogs in the house. We had a group last weekend where they were out really late, singing, playing loud music, drinking. They'll get out on owner-provided kayaks without life jackets, which we all know is a severe drowning hazard. It's just been a very disruptive thing to what used to be a residential community. And I would ask that, and I know this is probably a shot, but if we're going to allow people to put in Airbnbs or rentals next to these residential homes, can we at least make them put a privacy fence between their home or the proposed rental and a residential place? Again, this is still, I know it's the lake, but it's still city of Shawnee, and so this is still just city property. And so the response time, I know Frank said 15 minutes, but if you call the police and say, come out to this address, you wouldn't get someone out there in under 30 minutes. And so as you're bringing people in, bringing in strangers, bringing in people we don't know, we are opening up a box here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, I will close the public hearing and call for a motion. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Would you like a motion in order for us to have discussion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
So made?
Second.
And a second?
Now,
Now discussion.
do we know how many leaseholders have active short-term rentals out there already?
Out by the lake specifically, I think the total is 3.
Have you guys, has the city received any, like, official complaints about this property?
We did receive a report about this property operating. This application is them trying to come back into compliance with city ordinance. But we have received a call about this property with concerns about it operating. But I don't recall if there was a specific thing that they were saying was incompliant or complaining about.
I mean, approval of the application kind of provides the city a little more opportunity to control what's happening out there, right?
Yes, yes. And the conditional use permit and the license itself to operate both have avenues for being revoked. Yeah. So if there's continuous complaints and continuous issues with following city ordinance, the license and/or the conditional use permit can both be revoked.
I think I appreciate you asking that question. I had the same question about how we deal with it. This makes it more available to the city to be able to enforce its own rules. I do think an interesting point was brought up, though, that, this is City of Shawnee property. Now, Sheriff's Department could react to situations there as well. But you are talking about a place where people go to have fun. And we have noise ordinances, we have trespassing ordinances, we have all these things that I do wonder about the availability of law enforcement to be able to respond in a timely manner on a property that the city owns, where we're now bringing in more people who don't necessarily have a skin in the game. It's not their property, they're not their neighbors. And I'm not necessarily against a conditional use permit, but I do want something, I do think the city needs to respond to concerns like this. This isn't going to go away, and so it needs to be dealt with. That property that we own out there, that we lease to, needs to be properly managed. And part of proper management is public safety. I also am interested in the idea of being able to sublet the property and whether or not that needs to be worked out here or not. I think that's something to take to the city attorney. Of course, the commission might ask that as well.
We could consult with the city attorney and see what he has to say.
I feel like there was an opinion
Recently,
given the bond.
I feel like that too, because I think it came up before.
Yeah,
and Bondra gave one on it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I feel like the end result was that it was an actual subletting.
It was rental.
No, that, but by the definition, the legal definition, it was an
sublet.
actual
Short,
subletting.
I mean, it says here, short-term rental is an allowed use in TL with a CUP. So that's in the Twin Lakes zoning with a conditional use permit.
Yeah. My concern for not recommending that it move forward, which wouldn't stop it from being on the city commission's agenda anyway, is that the horse is already out of the stable with 2 others or 3 others?
2 others.
2 others.
Right.
For us to not recommend the city commission take this on, I think would send a mixed signal that it's good for some areas of the lake and not for others.
Can you kind of outline the process for complaints for homeowners that are dealing with the issues?
We're actually streamlining the process. It is not completed yet, but it will be officially put on city website. We'll have link for complaints. We have link for filling the application form, short explanation, what is the process. It is not finalized yet, but when it's been officially completed, it will be accessible to everybody, so we'll be able to receive complaints if something out of the norms happen on such properties.
Yeah, and we anticipate that going on the city website within the next month or so.
And these would be, you're talking about a nuisance complaint for like a noise thing, but it
Yes.
also gets enforced by the police as well, so you're talking about an extension of that, being able to.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
complaint would be immediately addressed by police
Right.
or the property manager or both. But then it would also come to us so that we could make a note of it on the file so we can keep track of how consistent issues seem to be in different areas.
So is revoking a conditional use permit then, is that something we don't really have a process for, it just is case by case, or how does that work?
No, it is in the city, unified city codes.
Okay.
Under conditional use permit, that it could be revoked for whatever reasons are listed over there.
But the
So
process for doing that has it been
it's not-
outlined yet?
The process is established, and it's not specifically for short-term rentals.
Just like the action
Well-
center, phone calls.
Yeah, it is for conditional use permit, we have the process already.
Yeah, so it could be the same thing if someone was doing something else that required a conditional use permit, not necessarily just short-term rentals.
Yes.
And a resident's first response, or first thing to do would probably be call the action center, like they would if their neighbor's grass was too high.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we're treating this like any other property, but conditional use permit will allow them to rent it as a short-term rental.
So I think what, I'm not speaking for Monty, but are there specific guidelines on how to, like, what would trigger a revocation type of situation? I mean, if they're dealing with noise complaints weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, at what point is a revocation a conversation versus, oh, we're just not going to non-renew it in 9 months, or
Yeah, so-
something like that?
The license has to be renewed annually, so if it's like spaced out over like every couple months and we don't see it until renewal time comes up, that's one thing. If we're getting a complaint like week after week, then we're going to flag that as peculiar, and so that might become a conversation before their renewal time is up.
But there's not like a public hearing process?
No.
Yeah, is there some sort of due process?
Not that I'm aware of right now,
No.
but that could be something we talk about.
Pretty much if they go out of the conditions that allow them to hold the permit, they can lose that permit. That's the bottom line of it.
Could I ask for clarification on something? As I understand it, the 2 current CUPs for short-term housing actually are owner-occupied. They're not a separate standalone lot. That's Windy Hill and that's Joe Davis, those 2. They both are on the property, and it is all condensed on one property. The second question I have, Elliot made a comment that I've forgotten the night now, I guess it was last Saturday night, about 8 o'clock was when all this commotion was going on and we were going out to watch the sunset. You say call the action line, is that manned 24 hours? If we have a complaint that needs to be addressed?
You mean, if you want to call the police?
Well, you said call the action line if there's,
It's not finalized yet where you can file your complaints. This is what we're mentioning. It will take us another month to be able to put it on the website. But once the link is there and you just click the link and submit, we'll be able to see it the next day.
the next day, you don't see the actual infraction. I guess my point to the commission is simply that we're getting the cart ahead of the horse. This is the first time we've actually had a standalone lease that is asking for rental. And as I said, I think it opens Pandora's box.
If I may, calling the non-emergency police line to address specifically noise complaints would attempt at least to have someone out there within the next hour or so. The complaint line that we're talking about would be specifically for flagging it on the file, which is why it wouldn't be manned 24/7. And secondly, the applicant, I know they're not here today, but they do reside at a property directly adjacent. I believe their address is 15109 Eckel. So I don't anticipate them needing lots of time to respond to any issues that might arise.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments from the board?
I think, like, as a member of this community, I do want everyone to feel safe in their homes and not worried about people drunk barking at your dogs. That's just annoying. And so accountability, I think, would be great for the homeowners. If they're going to have this as an extension of their property, then accountability, I think, would be great. So that our, like, community feels heard and not ignored. I think that's important. But I appreciate this conversation. I think all these concerns are felt.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, I will then call for a roll call, please.
All right, remember, this is the motion to approve. Hayes,
To approve, I'm sorry.
the conditional use permit.
We've had a motion and a second for
Okay.
approval of item number 3. And that's what we're voting on.
Okay. No.
Okay, Reese,
Aye.
all right, Porter,
No.
Barrett,
Aye.
Alexander,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
And this will be visited at the city commission meeting, so it's not your last chance to be heard. Thank you very much. Item number 4, Community Development Department updates.
Dear Commissioners, I would like one more time just to explain the process that we're going through for the conditional use permit, because this is a new procedure that we're developing. We are working on the application form, and the link for complaints, the short explanation, and any other resources that property owners will be helpful to know. And as we mentioned, this will take us another month to finalize, and it will be in the city website. Also, we're planning to send courtesy letters to property owners who already are doing that, because this is a little bit transitional process. We would like to inform them that they need to go to compliance now. The other thing, any questions about that? Okay, next item, I would like to update you. City of Shawnee is working with Oklahoma University and Potawatomi Go grant through United States Department of Transportation, Safe Streets for All. And we're in the process of collecting community data. So we already had one event, Cops with Kids, a couple of weeks ago, where surveys were distributed, and we'll have another event on, let me see, the exact date is November 1st, where we'll be present at the event, City Fall Festival, where we'll try to tackle people and collect their feedback according to the survey questions that we distributed. But my appeal to you is, and I'll send additionally letters to you with short explanation, on November 18 and 19, we'll finalize the data collection, and we would like to do just one last community outreach, and I'll try to reach all commissioners, city commissioners, other public figures who can just spread the information, or maybe would like to be in a leading position for that. So you'll receive that information additionally from our department. Just give you a brief heads up not to be surprised. The main goal is the more information we collect from the community, the better outcome we can produce with that grant that city was awarded. Do you have any questions on that? And the last thing is November 2nd to 4th is American Planning Association Oklahoma Chapter Annual Conference. It is going to be here in Oklahoma City. I can send you additional information with specific details, but I would encourage you, if you cannot participate 3 days, at least go to a session or two that you can find helpful. So Diana and I were planning to participate. So my appeal to you is, if you have a chance, be part of that conference, where you can also share ideas and mingle with people from other communities and maybe learn a little bit from our peers. Questions?
What was the date on that again?
November 2nd to 4th.
Okay, you told me like 15 times, I apologize.
No,
On my calendar.
it is Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
It's a big Tuesday.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
What is Big Tuesday?
That's Election Day,
Oh, okay.
so I'll be out that day.
Again, I'll send you additional information and from the registration page, and I do believe they have the agenda already available. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 5, commissioners' comments.
I get to start.
Because you were gone last week.
Just one thing that's coming up is Pot County Pedalpalooza, so that's another place where we're gonna be collecting data for, safe roads and streets for all. So that's gonna be held at Boy Scout Park, on September 20th. 10 to 1?
I believe.
10 to 1. So whether you like to ride a bike or not, come hang out, have some food trucks, and a good time.
You said 10 to?
10 to 1.
Nothing additional for me. I got nothing today.
Nothing for me?
John, lady? Anything? Not talk to?
Nothing.
Come on, Steve, nothing?
Steve.
Okay.
No.
No, too late? Okay. Anything else, anyone? All right. In that case, I will call this meeting to adjournment.
We stand adjourned.
Thank you very much.